Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 266. Tonight we're reviewing everything, everywhere, all at once. Finally, I feel like, this came out a while ago at this point, but here we are.
It seems like every, 5-10 years there's an indie movie that just
breaks through. Yeah.
Indie movie.
Yeah. What? This was indie.
Yes, but not low, I wouldn't call it a low budget.
No.
But yes.
But anyway, first things first, shout out to our Patreon supporters. $5 a month gets you early access. $10 gets you access to our viewing parties. Second, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Go to trywink.com/moviebitches. You get $22 off for your first month of wine. Or nothing bagels. I was going to say, no, we don't have a bagel sponsor. That would have been a good one to line up for this.
Everything bagels?
Wasn't it nothing? Bagel of nothingness?
But it was an everything bagel.
It was an everything bagel.
Because it had everything.
Because it had everything. And then
all
it was
at
nothing.
Once.
Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once. Well, next time I'll get a bagel sponsor. Maybe by the time we edit this, I'll have gotten a bagel sponsor and we'll put it in here. I would love a bagel sponsor. I love bagels. Anyway, third things third, make sure to subscribe, click that little button, turn on the bells. Bell, just the one bell. Share, follow us on Instagram and Twitter and all of that good stuff. So, Michelle Yeoh.
End of review.
Yep.
No, not really. There's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
There's a lot to talk about.
But honestly, she is just amazing.
I've always loved her.
Of course.
I will take this moment to champion Sunshine, a movie that does not get enough credit. Danny Boyle's best movie, in my opinion. It's been the best sci-fi movie that's come out in the last 10 years, in my opinion. I love it. So anyway, go watch that. But also,
go watch this if you haven't. Yes. Pause. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Very hard to summarize the plot, but we will tell you, watch it, and then you'll get it.
Watch it, come back.
Yeah.
This also reminded me of what a fucking waste she was used in Mechanic Resurrection. She was in Mechanic Resurrection? Yes. Honestly, the only thing I remember about that movie is the parasailing. The shucking knife. The shucking knife? Remember the oyster, basically the fight scene at the beginning. Yes. In that bar in Rio, and then he's on the hang glider. I rewatched it for How Did This Get Made purposes. We were completely correct. The first 5 minutes are great, and then it's a boring slog. And then there was that Michelle Yeoh shows up. Crazy, love it. And she's not utilized at all, and it's a bummer. So yes, Michelle Yeoh. That's hard to say 3 times in a row. Yeah. Michelle Yeoh in a row. Ooh, you know what else she was horribly underutilized? Was that terrible Christmas movie with Henry Golding. That is true. I forgot she was in that. Right. Well, I forgot about that movie. Yes, to be fair. I did too. Last Christmas? Last Christmas. I gave you my heart. That's right. I gave you my heart, literally. Literally. Oh, wow. I really did forget about that. But she was fabulous in Crazy Rich Asians. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. That mahjong scene. Yes. Oh, yes. And I just rewatched the whole Police Story trilogy, the Jackie Chan trilogy. Okay. Yep. She's in Police Story 3, a.k.a. Supercop. They kind of offshooted it. Gotcha. Oh, God. The stunts. Ooh, wow. Apparently her and Jackie Chan were just one-upping each other on who would do a more crazy stunt. And they had to call a truce because they were we're gonna hurt ourselves. Yeah. Oh my God. Someone's gonna get hurt. We need to take this down a level and just agree that this is the level because this is nuts. And you watch it and you're just like. I love it. Oh my God. What? So, but fun fact. Yeah. This was written for Jackie Chan.
Oh.
Which I'm glad they changed it, but I could see. I could fully see it. And am I here for a Police Story 3 reunion of Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan? Yes. Absolutely. Would I replace Ki Hee Kwan for anyone in my life? Absolutely not. He's Short Round from Temple of Doom.
Okay, yes.
Data from the Goonies.
Data.
Didn't act well, then he was in Encino Man briefly, because Encino Man. Seen it a few times. And then quit acting for, I want to say 30 years, 20 years.
Okay.
Decided to get back into acting because of Crazy Rich Asians. He was like, they're having so much fun. Look at that representation. I want to get back into it. Called his agent friend and was like, can you represent me? And he was like, yes. 2 weeks later, he auditioned for this movie.
I love that.
And he hasn't skipped a fucking beat.
No, he was so great. And he looked so familiar. Now that makes sense.
He was so incredibly fantastic.
Yes.
Michelle Yeoh, of course, is absolutely amazing and is doing all of it.
Yeah.
But his characters, let's say.
Sure.
Oh, okay, so there's multiverses.
Yeah.
Wait, you dig on multiverses?
You dig on multiverses?
I dig on multiverses. His character is so disparate, right? It's more showy in a way. And so he gets to play really so many different characters. I would say even more so than Michelle Yeoh because she's mainly Evelyn.
Right.
And then there'll be little moments of her playing other things, but not big broad scenes or big long scenes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, and there's nothing disparaging to Michelle Yeoh, but I just thought I was so impressed with him. And he was so like innocent and nerdy and then kicking ass and then suddenly very sexy in the like Wong Kar-wai neon lights alleyway scene. I was like, what are these feelings?
That's right.
What's happening?
Oh yeah. That was, yes.
I'm getting the feels. What's going on? And I was like, oh my God, he did so many things. So anyway, just like props.
Yeah, the acting all around.
Across the board.
Spectacular. Interesting fact.
Yeah.
The daughter was supposed to be Awkwafina.
I heard that.
And then she couldn't do it and I'm like,
you know what? Good. It worked out.
Yeah. I like Awkwafina.
Jinx, buy me a Coke.
But she always is doing Awkwafina to me.
Yes.
And like Awkwafina in Crazy Rich Asians, hilarious.
I love it.
Bok, bitch, love her, right? It was great. Awkwafina in this, I don't think it would have worked as well.
Not as well.
I'm sure it would work, but not as well.
I thought Stephanie Hsu was fantastic. I don't know her from much. I guess she's on Miss Maisel, or I kind of looked her up, but I thought she was really very fantastic.
Yeah.
The outfits.
Oh my God.
The outfits.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And like the tude that was, I think, part of the outfits, but perhaps also like donned from.
There was some interview with her where they were like going through each.
You want me to explain these looks? All right, okay, so I'm explaining looks. Elvis Jobu, K-pop, J-pop Jobu, Goddess Jobu, Everything Jobu, or Jumble Jobu, Chaos Jobu.
This is this Jobu, and this is this Jobu, and this is that Jobu.
You know, help me now. So fuck you, Jobu. I do it myself.
And it was true. She really like the outfit informed the character that was happening.
Yeah. This must have been so fun to film. I feel like they were all just having a great time.
So it's the same writer-directors as Swiss Army Man. Remember that movie that everyone was so upset, the corpse farting movie that Daniel Radcliffe was in at Sundance, and everyone was like, oh, I'm so upset. Oh.
Yeah, vaguely. I mean, I never saw it.
Oh. A fart! Oh.
A high kick to a fart that can send a grown man back home to his mama.
Big wild ideas, taking something so absurd and then making it really emotional and grounded in a family dynamic. I mean, we got James Hong, who's in everything. He was Grandpa.
飞机好不好？
长话越嚟越差啦。
对。
Okay, yeah, right.
He's in everything.
Yeah.
It's just like I think he was like in Chinatown. Like he's been in something since and now I'm just like, good for you.
Yes.
Working actor, James Hong. Love it.
But it really did nail, for me, so many different, it's more than a Venn diagram. It's like a one of those things where everything comes together. But everything
everywhere all at once.
It was heartwarming, like almost Goofy movie-esque. We have to talk to each other and feel each other and like listen to each other, like those kinds of lessons. Then it was sci-fi movie, multiverses.
Well, it's like everyday problems are at the core, but the most insane everything is going on around it. That kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you toss in amazing stunt work, and you're just like...
Great stunt work. I was reading about the VFX team was like 9 people. It was like really small, including the directors.
Wow.
They were all self-taught.
Huh.
And it was all, if they could do something in camera, they would do it in camera. And you can really tell.
You really can. It was not just, oh, they were in front of a blue screen flying around on wires.
No. I mean, they weren't in front of a blue screen, but...
Well.
It's so funny to talk about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon briefly for a moment.
Yeah.
That movie is a benchmark,
yeah.
is iconic. It's so important. Have not seen it since it was released. And I don't know who else has. You've never seen it?
I know, which is a big problem. Because it was one of those things, right, where it was like everyone watched it at the time and was like, oh my God, it was such a big deal. And then no one ever really watched it again. And I think that's probably it.
I want to rewatch it because it's like, I feel like watching it now, I'd be like, oh, that started this, that started this.
Sure.
Oh, that movie ripped it off. That movie ripped it off. Oh, this was
Definitely.
like completely.
Definitely.
It's funny. It's one of those movies that's like everyone's heard of.
Yep.
Almost everyone's seen it.
Yep.
I don't know anyone that's seen it recently. Or talked about it recently, really.
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Michelle Yeoh for the end of time.
Honestly, there's just such depth there.
Yeah.
And talent.
Yes.
Ugh. I mean, I could just go on about...
She's fucking great.
Really?
I can't say enough about how great Michelle Yeoh is.
Yeah. So, quick commercial break, and we will be back with,
everything.
More everything, everywhere, all at once, and Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, so like a brief overview.
Okay,
really,
sure,
a brief
sure.
one. We've got a Chinese-American family, Michelle Yeoh, Ki Kwan, and Stephanie Hsu, and James Wong, and it's all these generations, and they're all having... I mean, it starts and it's more like kind of like a Cassavetes. It's like a play. It's sort of like, oh, we're going to have like this sort of family drama of interpersonal stuff going on.
And then dealing with the taxes and the,
and it's all very,
financial troubles.
You know, it's very entertaining. The camera, you're in it, but it feels play-like. It's very dialogue heavy.
Sure.
They're going in and out of Mandarin and Cantonese, and it's all of these things, and it seems really informed. Basically, Michelle Yeoh finds out that she is Neo. She's the one.
Yeah.
She's the one, and because she made all of the wrong choices ever in her entire life and is the most boring and miserable version of Evelyn.
Yep.
She's the one and has to save the universe from Jobu.
Yeah.
And it sets up this conceit that you can travel through multiverses if you, you have to put the Bluetooth in and you have to do something weird. So you can download a personality from a multiverse that would help you in this situation. So like, Ki Kwan gets to show off his fighting skills, right? He eats the chapstick and we get this great fanny pack fight scene that's so fabulous.
Oh my God,
and it just compounds and gets more and more insane and over the top and ridiculous, but you love it.
You love it.
And it's I would say it's for the most part contained. I think it got too long, and I think the pacing could have been a perfect movie. I got really overwhelmed and like sensory by the end. I think because it had like 3 endings.
Sure. Yeah.
It was turning into the last Lord of the Rings movie, and I was like, I gotta go. I have got to go. I was so, at that googly eye fight, I was just like, this is the fruition of everything that I am so fucking into what's happening. And then, oh, and Frodo woke up from the bed, and now he has to say goodbye to the elves, and then he has to go back to the Shire, and then they have to, oh my God, let me out of here. Well, there's chyrons of everything.
Right, everywhere.
All at once. And the all at once of it, I think really should have ended, spoiler alert, at the googly eye fight. Because there's a fake out credit scene. So remember she's in the movie theater at the premiere?
Yes.
Don't leave. Help! Please! Help! Help!
And there's like credits, and you're like,
up.
So you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like the end, but,
right?
And then so you're faked out. Then it seems like this big fight culminating. We're having an emotional breakthrough. Oh my God, it's all coming together. I was like, I'm in. This is fucking great. Then there's another 20 to 30 minutes and then we wrapped this up, and we wrapped this up. And don't forget, we had to wrap up Jamie Lee Curtis's
I love Jamie Lee Curtis's.
But did we need her wrap up at the restaurant? No.
No.
And so all this goodwill it had built, I still really liked the movie. It was very, very good and very original and probably one of the best movies of 2022, of course.
Yeah.
But it wore out its welcome slightly for me in the third act.
I get that. I definitely
That was my biggest problem with it.
I would not say it was perfect. I do think it was one of the best movies I've seen in the past few years.
Absolutely. Hot dog fingers.
Oh my God. So many iconic.
Ratatouille.
Oh my God, Ratatouille.
Ratatouille! No!
Let's go rescue your silly raccoon.
You know, wild stuff. The BDSM room in the tax office.
Yeah.
Really, really wild things.
Yep.
There's an entire fight scene where the guy has a dildo up his ass, you know. It's wild.
It's wild.
You know, it's wild. There was a few times where I was like, okay, that was, for me, you took it too long and too far with this crazy joke and pointed it out to the point where I was like,
sure.
I got it.
Right. I was already in on it early and I was enjoying that. And now it's less fun because you've made a point of it.
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, we didn't talk about the rocks.
The rocks.
Iconic. Like so many just really memeable, iconic iconography, visuals, and
the imagery,
moments.
the way that it was like they did it, it almost felt like an 80s movie in its utilization of real life things being magical.
Sure.
Like all of the tech, all of the multiverse, it's all very shitty looking. They're in like a van.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's shitty.
Yeah.
You know?
They have like old timey like 1997 Bluetooth headsets and whatever.
It looks like they made it themselves,
yes.
you know? But there's the charm in that.
It feels like a real world. Like
yes,
a real
it feels
thing.
very realized and lived in.
And kind of just like, you're right, it is kind of Gremlins or like...
Bill and Ted's. It's very like, are you coming along for the ride?
Exactly.
And I think it, like I said, it took itself just a little bit too self-seriously by the end with its points of, we want you to...
Right. We got the lesson without you telling me specifically the lesson.
A little bit. And so...
but maybe not everyone does. You can fine-tune it. That's a hard
2 hours and 19 minutes. You know,
okay, yeah.
I don't think it needed to be that long.
No, 2:09.
Yes. Shout out to Shirley Kurata. I think that's how you say her name. Who did all the costumes.
Ooh.
Who's the costume designer.
I mean, the visuals all around, the production design.
I was just happy to watch a movie that was making strong choices.
Yes.
We talk about it all the time, but gray, blocked off shots, you know, no life to them, no excitement, no like personal stamp on things.
Yeah.
And this felt very personal.
Very personal, very real, very intentional, thought out. And that's just so refreshing. It's just so, like, I feel like these days, perhaps it's because so many movies are made in committee or whatever, where it's like, oh, well, you can't have that point of view because then someone might not like that. And
it
like,
won't
whatever.
sell overseas.
Exactly, right. We got to include these things. So I don't know, figure it out. And it's like, no. This was an artist made this movie.
Mm-hmm. We didn't quite talk about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh my God, and her hot dog hands. The
whole transformation
all of it, right?
Was quite fantastic.
Yeah, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
We didn't talk about how absolutely stunningly gorgeous Michelle Yeoh as film star.
That was all footage from the premiere of Crazy Rich Asians, or a bunch of it.
What?
Yeah, that's all that kind of like multimedia stuff that they put together.
Stop it.
Some of it. It really made me want to go rewatch In the Mood for Love. I was just like, oh yeah. I would say wholeheartedly go watch it.
Yeah.
Knowing that if you spoiled yourself. I mean, we kind of stayed away from specifics, but...
It was really nice to watch a movie like that was a real movie again, you know?
I do know.
And so...
It was appreciated.
It really, like, that's the biggest compliment that I can give to recommend it. It's like, oh, if you want to watch an actual movie, watch this.
Cheers.
Cheers.